Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I just wanted to pop in and kind of make a basic little video saying why I chose the word angel for this year. I've had some more typical words over the years since I started in 2016. I can't name them all right off the top of my head, but like hope, faithful, or faith, praise, pray, blessings, and peace, and so forth. So that might have been about the amount of time, but I had a really strong urge to use angel this year because it's just, we need angels among us. The angels of the Bible, the 7 archangels, is something I really wanted to delve into this year as well. And we talk about when someone passes away that heaven gained an angel, and we know, I went to seminary, but I think most of us know that that's not actually in the Bible. And even the cardinals that have kind of been important to me recently because they've been in some of the beautiful flower arrangements that people have given us since his passing, and other types of cardinals that we've received lately. But about someone that has passed or so forth is kind of coming to see you. Those are sayings that really are more about comfort, as long as we don't rely on them and say they're gospel. But it's okay to have something to bring you comfort every now and then. Again, as long as you know. But angels, or angel, I do feel like Emery's up there, the cardinal, the angel, but I know he's in heaven, but I know the comfort we feel. Okay. But also, I've had multiple experiences with angels. A lot of people don't believe this happens, and that's okay. But I do know what I experienced. The first time, when I was in my first college in Charlotte, downtown, and this was 87, 88. I can't remember exactly what period that was in there. I was there for 10 months. I was at one of my points of desperation and my first real attempt at suicide. Just broken up with a boyfriend. And some of these things like that just trigger the ever heavy stuff. So I was walking downtown late at night, downtown Charlotte. This is before the Panthers were there, like I said, 87, 88. Was not the best time and of night, not the best area of any downtown. It's not the best area at middle of the night, especially long and a female. And not in her straight mind, like just really distraught. I was literally halfway over the bridge, ready to jump. Out of nowhere, this car shows up, and it looked like one of the oldest cars you've ever seen. Very rusty, like a brownish color, just really old. 2 individuals that looked like they'd been living on the streets or in that car for a long time came out of the car. I can't tell you what their faces look like, really. The main thing is that they got me off that bridge. They literally came and took me off the bridge just in time. Put me in their car, took me to my dorm room, which wasn't, again, too far away, but far enough. I turned around and they were gone. We never spoke a word. How they knew where I lived, how they showed up just in time. That's a God thing. I know people believe in God, things that are really good faith believers that truly believe in God, that God does watch over us. So they literally saved my life that night. Another time, maybe about 2 years later at the most, I was in England with my brother, and I was acting out. And I was going to buy the ticket to come home, and I had to go into the newest little town, from the nearest town from the base. So mutual friends of my brother's and mine dropped me off because they were going somewhere else, and they couldn't pick me up, and I had to go extra early before the stores were opening. But it was precious with cultural to see the people in the town, so I was okay with that. However, I didn't have cash or transportation to go back to the base. So I called my mother back then on a payphone, and I called her, which would have been 5:30 in the morning here, she said. I said, Mom, pray for me. I'm going to start walking back to the base. after I got the ticket. So I start walking, and it starts raining. And I notice a truck driver, and many are going back and forth, but he came to me and pulled on the side of the road. I should have been scared to death of him, just like I should have been scared to death of the individuals that took me off the bridge. But I was distraught. I was lost and in the wrong place. But God sent his angels. I asked Mom to pray for me before I started walking. And God answered Mom in my prayers. So yeah, scared, it was whatever, but I got in his car nonetheless. Or his, big truck, tractor and trailer. He turned around and went out of his way and went to the base because he said, "Where are you headed?" And I told him the base. He said, "You're going the wrong way." So not only am it pouring raining, I'm going the wrong direction. God sends someone to take care of me. And a lot of people say they don't even talk to you. Like, I know in the bridge they didn't talk to me. And this could have been just a wonderful Good Samaritan. I feel that first two were truly angels because there was no communication. This man, I think, just God answered Mama's and my prayers, but he was an angel to me, and God only knows the truth of that. But we didn't have a big conversation. But he let me know I was going the wrong way. He went out of his way, the other direction, and picked me up and dropped me off at the front gate of the main gate of the base. I said, "I don't have any cash right now." He said, "No worries. I could have gotten something for him if he would have waited." No. So to me, he was another angel. People believe what they believe. There are other things that I know God had angels watching out for me. I put myself in a lot of situations when I was younger and before I got myself together. None of us are perfect, but got myself out of the worst of the times that I were in. Because y'all know that you followed me or know me well enough that I attempted suicide 12 times, thought about it other times, and 9 of those 12 times were within 3 years. And the last one was when I was living in Costa Rica. I had to hit rock bottom though, like I did. I was within minutes, numerous of my attempts. And the last attempt was like my mind's eye. I saw and I felt and I was in the midst of the devil pulling me one side and Jesus pulling me the other side. And my friend, he came and saved me just in the nick of time before those last minutes. I was in a club before that, about a year before that, and the background to how I knew these guys, I thought they were good people. I told them my friends and I were going to the club. And so they met us and they were really late. So we were going from the first club to another club, but we went to eat, kind of like, Waffle House here in this, but it was another place beside another club. It was kind of in town. My friend, she went to the bathroom and they took me to the club next door and she came out freaking out. Of course, I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. And they were talking to me about wanting money for this or that. She came in, she just had a feeling that's where they brought me. Thank God that's where they put me instead of taking me somewhere else later. And so the bouncer let her in just for the moment to come get me. So I followed her out and he chased us, and it was like my dream in my last attempt, which is a year or so later. She was pulling me, that guy was pulling me on the other side, and a taxi driver came out and helped my friend pull me away from him. And we got in the taxi and we went to her place that night because she didn't want me to be alone. And she was an angel, and I said, you don't, like I said, everything is not like an actual, but God sends us people to be angels in our lives. And when I first went to Costa Rica, I'll back up a little bit. There were, again, I was really not doing great. And I went with a bunch of friends from the school where I was improving my Spanish. And I was drinking and overdrank. And we were all together, but not like beside each other, a big group of us, male and female group. hanging out. And I don't know how they talked me into it, but again, I was not in a good place. I was quite inebriated. And I followed this group of gentlemen, probably 5 or more, to their car. And I was this close to getting into their car. And one of my friends, he knew I wasn't there, and he knew I wasn't doing well. He knew I was had too much to drink. And he came out just in time. You know, there's more things than that, but those are the main incidents. So the phrase, there are angels among us, and I believe it. Again, if it's just a human being that God sends just in the nick of time, or if it's the true angels that most of the time we don't see that save us from a car wreck or whatever. There's so many little things that we'll never know what we're saved from, and some that we say, oh, yes, it had to be. But I know my life experiences, and I thank God every day, and it's changed my life tremendously. So anyway, angel, you know, I always wear red on Friday, even if it doesn't, a little t-shirt saying red, but I always wear my little boots from being in the military, combat boots jewelry. But with the angel, I found this beautiful one that goes with my Red Friday. She's holding the eagle. She's holding us in her hands, and she is watching over our country. She's watching over those for Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed that are deployed or just stationed around the world. Missionaries too, you know, they're around the world. And yes, for the U.S., but there's so many others around the world that need angels. And when they go, you know, a lot of people in other countries have connections with Jesus in their dreams. So, with the angels speaking to them and so forth. And so there's just so many incidents. And I'm going to look forward to exploring more ways, like this book that I'm going to get into. The guardian angels of our heavenly companions. So, and I'm going to look into more books. I'm not just going to do it as a cute little topical word. I want to really dig in, kind of like what I did with pray as my word last year. So, I just really felt I needed to share this with y'all. It's probably TMI. A lot of stuff that some of you didn't want to know or didn't know, but I hope it helps somebody. I love y'all. I know I haven't been doing regular videos. It's just a lot going on. When my stepdad was not doing well at the end, and when he passed, and then the holidays, I'm not sure when I'm ready to do some more regular videos, but I just want to pop in every now and then and let y'all know what's going on, and let you know I'm praying for y'all as well. I'm not even on social media as much as I was, just kind of pop in and check in and see how y'all doing. But just know I love you, and I pray for y'all. And I do appreciate each of you tremendously for your friendship, for your prayers, and so many aspects and times of my life over the years. Friends near, far, and family members near and far and everywhere. And I love y'all. Take care. God bless. Peace and blessings.